2019, the Community Foundation of Morgan County launched a countywide effort to determine community concerns and priorities in a number of focus areas that affect residents' quality of life, including neighborhood environment, economics, stability, education, healthcare, food, and community involvement. A total of 860 residents participated in the main survey, representing all hometowns in Morgan County. An additional 709 students participated in a youth-focused survey administered in 6 area high schools. Brittani Bentley is here with us today. She's president of the Community Foundation of Morgan County, and she's going to walk us through the survey's results and how the Community Foundation is addressing the needs highlighted in the survey results. Welcome, Brittani.
Thank you, Darcy. I appreciate you and Jamie having me today. As Darcy mentioned, I was recently named the president of CFMC, and we are super excited to be here today and share with you some of our results from a community survey that we did in 2019. As many of you know, community foundations, we normally focus on holding funds for others. We do a scholarship season, a grant season. And in 2018, the Lilly Endowment came to all of the community foundations and wanted us to start really compartmentalizing this idea of community development, which is a space that we've tried to be in for a long time, but we just didn't have all of the resources at our fingertips that we needed to do that. So with the help of Lilly Endowment, they paid for a community survey that we did in 2019. This community survey actually addresses the social determinants of health as the guiding principle to determine Morgan County opportunities and challenges, because social determinants of health address conditions where people are born, grow, live, and work. So CFMC's ultimate goal is to help with the quality of life for everyone in Morgan County, whether you're from one of our big cities or one of our smaller towns. We just find it very important that we need to start creating a quality of life so that people love living, working, and playing in Morgan County. So what I'll be going through today is just some of the highlights, and then I will explain to you how this resource is put together. And then I believe Jamie is going to be taking questions in the live chat on Facebook. So if you have a question, please type it there, and I'll be happy to respond as quickly as possible. So today we are going to discuss the social determinants of health. What I will tell you is that at the end of the presentation, I have my contact information, but if you look at our website, cfmconline.org, we are trying to put resources out there that fit these distinctive areas of the quality of life. So please go out and take a look at that if you have time. I know Jamie is going to send you this resource after this today. So how did we do this community survey? Well, we went to multiple events. We held community conversations in each town or city. We went to all type of events around the county, and we held stakeholder focus groups. So those people that are currently engaged in the social determinants of health for Morgan County, we asked them to give us their input to let us know what they thought the most pressing needs were. Many of your local politicians showed up and they gave us their ideas as to what. So we've been working with them simultaneously to try and improve some of these efforts. As Darcy had mentioned, we did have 861 responses. We held 10 community conversations. We went to 11 community events, and we also had some survey stands at our local libraries to encourage people to fill out this survey. We did a lot on social media, for those of you that love social media, because this one does not. But what I will say is that we had a really good response. So part of our survey findings, what I will tell you is that our confidence level is roughly 95% with a margin of error of about 5%. You can get more as to why we feel so strongly about that 95% on this page when you're able to review it yourself when Jamie sends that out. But our top responses, obviously, are from our bigger communities. So Martinsville, 31.63% of our responses were from our great city of Martinsville. 13.41% of our survey respondents were from Monrovia and 28.12% from Mooresville. We also asked some of the demographics, just their age and gender. But here's where it gets really entertaining. So out of those 800 respondents, we asked some pretty simple questions. So what's your current living situation? 75% say they own a home. They don't have any housing concerns. But here's the best part down here. Top 3 priorities for hometown improvement through the majority of these communities. Internet access was at 55%, which means that's obviously something we need to help work on. Roads and water quality. We did leave the opportunity open as well to answer some open-ended responses. And the other part that people from Morgan County want to see is park and recreation facilities. When we get to neighborhood environment, this is some of the things that we conclude in what a community environment looks like. So do you feel safe? Is your hometown bike and pedestrian friendly? Is your hometown area safe? What factors contributed to the way they responded is 87% feel like they are safe in their hometowns, but their concerns are 72% said drug use and trafficking, 42% property crime, and 34% limited police patrol. What I will tell you on that limited police patrol, it's not our bigger cities and towns that we're concerned with this, it's our smaller ones. But I think our police do a great job keeping us safe, but that is something that the people who took this survey really thought we needed to know. Economic stability. What's your current employment status? What top 3 job search challenges? Top 3 unaffordable expenses. So 60% of our respondents work full-time, 54 reported no challenges. But the top 3 unaffordable expenses, 22% debt payments, 20% automobile, and 20% health insurance. Under economic stability continued, one of the other things was the top 3 social services used. You know, what type of benefits are you using in your economic position? What's your current personal financial situation? What we had asked on this question was, could you afford an unexpected $400 expense? Would you have to sell something in order to pay for that expense? Do you have it in savings, or is this something that's really going to mess up your budget for the month? And this was actually, we were happy to see that 66% of people said that they can cover their expenses. The next is our education. So we kind of wanted to know, what does your education look like? What do you find successful? So highest level of education, 40% of our respondents have a bachelor's degree, 30% a diploma, and 13% associate's degree. What they told us is that they feel like in order to be successful, 76% want a secure paying job, 33% to go to college, 33%, and 30% to go to trade school. CFMC thinks all 3 of those are a great response. We also asked like top 3 challenges with continuing education and the number of students in the home. We also asked, do you have access to early childhood programming? Top 3 challenges that you face at your school, and top 3 indicators of a child's success. meaning that what the parent thinks is going to make their child the most successful: secure a paying job, 68%, and 52 going to college. 52%, that is. I'm so sorry. We also asked, like, did you volunteer at your child's school? How engaged are you? Household education challenges, 74% said we don't have any. But funds for tuition, help with child schoolwork, and access to internet is still a major concern in these areas. We also asked about healthcare. Do you have health insurance? Who provides that? Do you use an ER for primary health care? And distance from home to your regular doctor, since the majority of Morgan County is rural. So we thought this was pretty good. 57% of our respondents say they have health insurance and it's provided by their employer. 18% government, 13% for themselves, and then 6% a family member covers them. This is a big deal in some of the more rural areas as well. Are you able to follow a doctor's orders? Do you have the resources you need to get prescriptions, money for prescriptions, etc.? One of the shocking things I thought was average wait for a doctor's appointment is 2 to 7 days, 46%. But then 14% responded it's a 1 to 4 weeks. Well, you all know with this great situation we're in, 1 to 4 weeks is a long time to get into the doctor. So what type of impact is that having on Morgan County? Top 3 unavailable health service, 61% said they don't, but 12% said mental health care, 12% said general medical care, and 11% said they needed dental. Our next question came about food conditions. What are the top sources for groceries? Can you afford fresh fruits and vegetables? How often do you buy fast food? And is fast food more affordable than when cooked at home? So 76% of our respondents said that they shop at Kroger, 53% Walmart, 38% Meijer, which means we have access to groceries. But 7% saying they can't afford fresh fruits and vegetables out of 800 participants. That gives me a cause for concern. 51% of our respondents said they eat fast food about once a week. And 40% responded that fast food is not more affordable than doing home cooked meals. To follow up on that, average number of meals that families eat each day, 2 to 3 meals each day, 75% of respondents. We did ask for those who are food insecure, no food for 2 days or more, and will it last 30 days? 99% said they didn't have an issue. Our next topic was the community involvement piece. So community involvement is probably my favorite part of my job when we're not in a COVID restriction, obviously, because I love to talk to all of you and I miss you so much since COVID's here and I don't get to meet with anybody. But community involvement, how engaged are you in your community? What do you participate in? How many of you know your neighbors? So we asked the same questions. 44% said they knew a few of their neighbors. Top 3 categories in community participation is at our school and our church events. Community meetings, 22%. Top 3 reasons for low community engagement. People are telling me lack of time, lack of awareness, and lack of personal interest. Now, what I will tell you is that when Jamie sends out this report, it's very fascinating. If you'll take the time to go through it, we actually went through each community in Morgan County and gave you what their top concerns are for each area of social determinants of health, what they like best about that area, and what they least like about that area. And we do have one for Brooklyn, Canby, Eminence, Martinsville, Monrovia, Mooresville, Morgantown, Paragon, and Waverly. So now I would like to kind of go over what we are trying to do with these survey results. It's become very aware to us that throughout this process that working more directly with each community, no matter the size, is the key to improving the quality of life for Morgan County. CFMC seeks to be more intentional about spending time in each town and city to find out what specific needs or projects we can do most directly and improve that impact on the quality of life. We don't really care if it's Martinsville, Mooresville, Waverly, Paragon. We want to be in those communities. We want to hear from you. We want to know what current problems you might be facing. So I am excited to announce that we have hired Jessica Schwartz. She is our new community development officer. Her primary role will be to be out in these areas meeting with leaders, centers of influence, and then those that don't really have a voice in our community, but that need to be heard. They have great ideas. So once COVID has finally ended, we will start taking more trips out to our communities, being more engaged, trying to be at all events, trying to hear from all of you, because we really feel like that's what's important. That's part of our job now. So it is that time where I am happy to take any questions and answers that you might have. I know I went through this pretty quickly, but like I said, Jamie will be sending out this report to all of you. So I'd really actually like to hear what kinds of questions you have, what concerns you might be dealing with. And another way to reach me, in case if you are unable to ask a question on Facebook this morning, because we all love technology, right? I was kidding. I am happy to speak with any of you. Here is my email address, my phone number, and I'll be happy to answer any questions, hear out your concerns. All you got to do is feel free to reach me. Jamie, do we have any questions in the Facebook Live group?
Brittany, we have had an unfortunate happening here, and we are recording, but apparently are not live on Facebook.
Okay.
So Facebook has changed their settings, and apparently because we tried to go live in the event, the only time it would go live is if I had my own phone, you know, taking pictures, and that wasn't the point. So hopefully we'll learn from this, and certainly we will give folks your contact information and let them contact you with questions. And if questions are posted when we post the recording, we'll be happy to pass those along as well.
Thank you, Jamie. And again, I love you guys. I miss seeing you at our Martinsville Chamber events. I hope everybody stays safe and healthy and happy. But I would love to meet with you, talk about any topics of concern. So here's my information and you can contact me anytime.
Thank you for understanding, Brittany, and folks. We're very sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll get it right one of these days.
Jamie, you do a great job. I understand. So thank you again for having me.
Darcy, would you like to add anything?
I appreciate you coming too, Brittany. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Jamie and I were working behind the scenes trying to figure it out. It shows it's live on Facebook, but neither one of us could find it on Facebook. So we appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today and go through all this information. It's a lot to take in. Hopefully it'll help people. One of these days we'll get back together in person for our meetings, and everybody have a wonderful day and a Merry Christmas, a safe New Year. That's all I've got.
Thanks, everyone. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.